Welcome, and as you can see we have that new SMG Gold, the BAS P. In this video I'm going to be going through everything from class setups to game modes, just everything that you need to know in order to achieve gold as quickly and effectively as possible. But please feel free to skip around, but without further ado, let's get straight into it. So obviously the first thing we're going to need to do is level up the gun. Normally I'd recommend two different options, but thanks to the arrival of Season 1, I can now give you an added option. The first option being Invasion. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail, but if you don't know what Invasion is, I have a video called Fastest XP in the description below. The second that I'm going to recommend is Kill Confirmed. Obviously the strat here is get as many kills as you can while collecting as many tags as you can. Now the third option, which is a new option, is Shoot House. Now Shoot House has many benefits, such as the fact that it's a small map, which means more kills, but also it has them game modes like Hardpoint and Kill Confirmed that are not only good for leveling up the gun, are also good at getting them camos. There is one clear downside though, you have to play the same map over and over again. Once the gun's max level, I'd highly recommend you switch to Shoot House if you're not already in there, or one of these three game modes on screen now. Now the reason I'd recommend these three is because they are objective based game modes. Objective based game modes are perfect for finishing off them challenges that you need to do. Now the reason for this is that you always know where enemy players are going to be running to, and rather than sitting in corners or holding lanes, a lot of players tend to go for the hard point, for example. Moving on to class setups now. This was the class I used majority of the time. The only change was the muzzle, which I changed to a silencer as it's one of the challenges at a later date. Now you can tell this is linked to the M13 purely because it is quite weak, but there isn't much recoil. Remember to always use these class setups as a guide. What works for me might not necessarily work for you. Let me know in the comments below any class setups you've got or how you found the gun. Personally, I just found it a little bit weak, but then again, it might have just been my poor shooting. Moving on to my custom loadout. As you can see, I'm going for the mastery camos, so a launcher is a must. I don't shoot down near enough what I should, but make sure you guys are because you don't want to leave this to the last minute. Tacticals, I tend to just stick with flash grenades, I don't use them too often. But if you're looking for an XP boost, then I'd highly recommend the decoy grenades. Just throw these around the map, and if anyone gets a kill near them, you pick up some weapon XP as a bonus. Lethal is a throwing knife for me, just because if I ever need to hit someone, it's a one shot hit as opposed to two. Now perks should be a preference, they should be based around your playing style. Because I run around quite a lot, I stick to double time, and I like tracker because it helps with a lot of the challenges like point blank or kills from behind, or even hip fire because you can see where the enemies are running and you can get nice and close. Cold blooded is a must for something like Shoot House. Everyone seems to get VTOLs or chopper gunners, so it just stays hidden from them. Lastly, I went for quick fix. I think it's quite important in a game mode like Shoot House, purely because you're always in them 2-3 engagements pretty quick, and without that health gen it becomes pretty much impossible. Lastly, the field upgrade. Dead silence is a must for me, especially in a game where footsteps are so loud and everyone's listening out. But not only that, with the challenges like kills from behind or point blank, dead silence allows you to get nice and close without the enemy even know you're coming. So the last and most important thing you're going to need to do is complete the challenges. Now the first challenge is Grass Snake, which is simply get 50 kills. This is going to be nice and simple. In any of the game modes you might achieve this, but especially in something like Shoot House, it will probably take 2 or 3 games at an absolute max. The second challenge is Bark Digital, and this is get 15 hipfire kills. Now this is the loadout that I use to help me with them hipfire kills, and I would highly recommend you change your class as well. Apart from that, there isn't too much you can do apart from spray and pray. My main strat for this generally though is to use the dead silence and try and get as close to the enemy as possible. This allows the hipfire to be a bit more consistent, but overall this gun was pretty good at hipfiring and shouldn't take you too long. Third on the list is Urban Dusk. Now this challenge is get 15 kills from behind. This is pretty easy really, especially in them objective based game modes, because everyone's running for the objective. A lot of the time you are going to find yourself behind the enemy. But also to add to this, tracker and dead silence are your best friend. you can happily follow people running away from you and shoot them in the back as they run. Now last of the basic challenges is Dark Violet, and this is simply get 50 kills while using a suppressor. Not much more I need to say here, just whack on a suppressor and get slain. Now the final challenge to get gold is get 3 kills without dying, as it always is. Now again, just play your normal playstyle, but when you get to 2 kills, just play a little bit slower, because if you do keep dying on the 2 kills, it will get frustrating. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you have, don't forget to hit a like. If you found it useful and you want to see future videos like this, then make sure you smash that sub button, and I'll see you in the next one.